It took me 15 years to learn what I'm going to teach you in 10 minutes. 15 years of marriage, motherhood, moving, mistakes, and learning the hard way. I spent 15 years trying to get it all right. And what I learned is it's not about doing more, it's about becoming more. More grounded, more selfless, more surrendered to what God is doing, even when it doesn't look like my plan. If you've ever asked yourself, why is this season so hard? Or why do I keep having to start all over? Then friend, this one's for you. Hi, I'm Kathy. This is a space for women like you building businesses, balancing life, and growing in faith and purpose. Today, I'm sharing the 5 biggest lessons I've learned over the last 15 years. Lessons that changed how I love, how I lead, and live. If you're navigating motherhood, marriage, business, or just trying to stay faithful in a messy season, I think you'll see yourself somewhere in this story. Lesson 1, selflessness starts at home. When I first got married, I thought partnership meant walking side by side toward the same dream. What I didn't realize was that sometimes partnership means one person carries the dream while the other is the co-pilot. Marriage taught me that something I didn't want to learn. That selfishness doesn't always look like greed, and sometimes it looks like control. Wanting things my way, needing my rhythm, my comfort, and my outcome. But love, real love requires surrender. I've learned that being right doesn't build the connection, and being humble does. There were times I had to ask myself, am I trying to help my husband or am I trying to fix him? Big difference. God's been teaching me that true love is sacrifice, not in a way that erases me, but in a way that shapes me to be more like Christ. Patient, gentle, willing to meet someone halfway. That's where peace lives. In the humility to say, I don't have to win. I want us both to win. Number 2, pivot with grace. When my kids were little, I was the homeschool mom, the planner, the to-do-it-all myself mom. I thought that was our forever story. But life shifted. Our kids needed change, our family changed, and our business grew. And suddenly, that season no longer fit. When we moved the kids to private school, I felt like I had failed. I kept thinking, did I give up too soon? But here's the truth. I wish I'd known earlier that you can make the right decision for the one season and it can still change later. That doesn't make you inconsistent. It makes you wise enough to pivot. God doesn't call us to stay stuck in old seasons out of guilt. He calls us to walk in obedience, even when it looks different than before. So if you're in a season of transition right now, if you're switching careers or adjusting your kids' schooling or shifting what your days look like, let this be a permission slip. You're not quitting, you're evolving. Lesson number 3, trust your gut. I used to second guess myself in every decision, especially the big ones. When we decided to move from Illinois to Indiana, people thought we were crazy. Why would you leave your family? What if it doesn't work out? But deep down, I had my peace. It didn't make sense on paper, but it did make sense in my spirit. Sometimes your gut isn't just instinct. It's God whispering, I've got you. That move taught me that peace isn't the absence of fear. It's the presence of faith. You don't need to know every detail to move forward. You just need enough trust to take the next right step. And here's the wild thing. When you follow that quiet nudge, doors open that logic could never explain. So trust that inner whisper. It's often the Holy Spirit guiding you. Lesson number 4, find your people. Moving away from Chicago, everything familiar was so much harder than I thought. Starting over meant starting from scratch, no community, no history, no comfort zone. I remember feeling so isolated, like nobody knew my story. But one day I realized community doesn't find you, you have to create it. So I started showing up. I joined local Facebook groups. I went to local events. I introduced myself at church. It was awkward at first, but that's how you grow roots. Slowly, I met women who were just like me, trying to balance motherhood, homeschool, business, and their faith. We built friendships through shared values, not shared zip codes. So if you're in a new place, don't wait for your people to appear. They're not going to knock on your door. Be brave enough to go first. Say hi, hello, offer help, invite someone to coffee, because community doesn't happen by accident. It happens through service, consistency, and heart. Lesson number 5, service over spotlight. This last one changed everything. For a long time, I thought success meant being seen. But God has shown me that real fulfillment comes from serving faithfully behind the scenes. The people who've made the biggest impact on my life were not loud. They were present. The friend who dropped off a meal when I was sick. The neighbor who prayed with me. The mom who showed up to help when no one else did. Those moments taught me that legacy isn't built through spotlight. Those moments, it's building through quiet obedience. The world says, be known, but Jesus says, be faithful. So now I ask myself daily, how can I serve where I am? Because the more I focus on serving, the more peace and purpose I find. Success is temporary, but service, that's eternal. So here's what 15 years have taught me. You don't have to get it all right. You just keep showing up. You have to be humble, teachable, and willing to grow. Serve where you are, pivot with grace, trust your gut, find your people, and choose service over spotlight. That's how you build a life that actually matters. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated, please hit the like and subscribe and share it with a friend who needs it. Keep shining, darling. The world needs more of your light.